But the two stories that I really want to talk about this week, um, let's break down that Packers Eagles game yesterday. So, game first half, both teams, nobody could really move. Nobody really was able to do anything early on. Cobb is terrible. I think he scored like negative 0.94 fantasy points yesterday. Aaron Rodgers couldn't get things going early on, but he's a great quarterback, and he ended up putting up numbers later on and getting the Packers moving. Wasn't surprised to see that. I definitely, if if someone asked me what I thought the score would be on that one, I'd probably put it at about 27-20 before the game. That's what I was thinking. Just because the Packers are a lot better on offense, and the Eagles got a good defense. They got great wide receivers, Jerry Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, but I just did not see um, Cobb being that bad. But it could be a huge blessing for them. Michael Vick, back in the NFL. We just saw the rebirth of Michael Vick yesterday, and that's something. That I just don't understand why. Excuse me. I don't understand why he was sitting on the bench. I mean, I do. Well, I understand it from a PR perspective. You don't want to start the dog killer guy. However, this guy is sick. I mean, he is the most ridiculous athlete that we have seen, and that has not changed. Packers started throwing a QB spy on him late in the game. Still couldn't stop him. He was making plays down the field with his arm. Yeah, he didn't turn it over at all, and that's one thing that we always have seen from Michael Vick is him throwing picks and low completion percentages. Those have always been the knocks on him. But just watching him just scramble around, picking up first downs, just moving that team, just energized the Eagles. And I think that I hear Cobb is out for this next week. He's not practicing till Friday at least, so I don't see him getting to start this next week. So I definitely see Michael Vick coming into that one. Uh, Michael Vick winning that game. He is a freak of nature, and he should be playing quarterback in the NFL. And anyone that thinks otherwise is either just idealistic and don't like him for moral reasons, um, or they're just stupid and they're just trying to go back against these oh truest of the game. We need a pocket passer. No, you don't. You need a guy that moves the ball, and that's what he does. He moves the ball. Michael Vick makes plays. He scores touchdowns, and we saw that yesterday. And Packer fans know that if Michael Vick would have played that whole game, it could have turned out differently. Granted, there's always the argument, if we would have game planned for him, we would have had him, but sure, okay. Yeah, I mean, I buy that a little bit, but, I mean, you can game plan all you want, but you can't stop 4.240 speed, and that's what Michael Vick brings to the team. Brings that excitement in the huddle. I mean, you got to be jacked knowing that at any moment Michael Vick could make something happen. As a wide receiver, you just got to keep moving. That's what brought this team together and almost got them to win this one. So, I mean, I think that there's one of two things going on with this whole Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, Kevin Cobb with the Eagles thing. Um, Either some kind of conspiracy, okay? Could be some kind of a conspiracy. I mean, if you are the Philadelphia Eagles and you're trying to push Donovan McNabb out of town, do you think that they would have done it if they just had Kevin Cobb and say someone like AJ Feely there too, or I don't know, some garbage third quarterback? I don't think that you get rid of Donovan McNabb at that point because Kevin Cobb gives you, sure, you may be high on him for the future, but I don't think he's a guy that can lead this team to the playoffs this year. I just don't. He looked terrible yesterday. He played two good games last year, but he wasn't the man back then, and it's a lot different being the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles um, than being the guy stepping in, and that's who he was last year. He was the guy stepping in. I think that the Eagles are looking at this going, well, hey, if he goes down, we got Michael Vick, and we're going to be okay. Because they see this guy practice every day. They got to know how amazing he is. They see him every day. Um, so my point with this is that either there's some kind of a conspiracy going on, trying to save the PR. The front office is not letting Michael Vick be a starting quarterback. They said, no way, we can't do that. We can't come out in the offseason and say that. So we keep him on the team, get him, and, Cobb goes down, he struggles. Now we can put in Michael Vick, and it's justified. Or they're just really lucky, and that's just how things worked out. But I think that if Michael Vick isn't on that team, Donovan McNabb is still the quarterback of the Eagles, and Kevin Cobb's sitting on the bench. They already, before Cobb got injured, they're still running these Michael Vick packages. Concussion, convenient for them. With a concussion, it's one of those injuries where you can just say, oh, well, he's practicing, he's doing better, but he's still sitting out this week, that type of thing. I'm not downplaying the concussion or the injury, but it is something that you can conveniently not start them. So, if I'm the Eagles, I want Michael Vick as my quarterback. That's all I can really say about that. Okay, moving from one super freak of nature to another, Randy Moss. Now, Randy Moss came out yesterday after not getting targeted in the end zone at all, and speaks out against his team, saying that there's people in Boston that don't want him there next year. Whether he's got a valid point or not, I guess time will tell. But, if Randy Moss isn't happy, it takes two to tangle. And when you've got a great team and you got an unhappy Randy Moss, Randy Moss has proven over his career that he shows up and he plays. Yeah, I play what I want to play, but Randy Moss wants to play a lot. He loves burning corners. He loves scoring touchdowns. He loves winning games. Was it selfish of him to say that after a win? Yeah, it was a little bit. He shouldn't have done that. But if you're the New England Patriots, you need to get Randy Moss back on your team. Is the front office trying to not get him the ball to try to downgrade his price basically for next year and be able to get him cheaper? Maybe they are. Maybe they see it that way. I think that if I'm any other team in the NFL, any team, I want Randy Moss on my team. And if he does become a free agent at 33, I do think that he is going to still be a beast. He's going to be re-energized. So I just don't understand that whole thing. I just don't understand what's going on with that one. But we definitely have not seen the end of Randy Moss, and I think he's still going to step up big for the Patriots this year. Hopefully they get that stuff ironed out. I love watching the Patriots being sick. For another reason that I just like seeing other teams have to play against the Patriots. It's not like I'm a Patriots fan. But yeah, I'd like to see that too. So this week we've got more NFL games coming at you this next week. Like I said, we got the Monday night tonight. We've got the Jets playing tonight against the Ravens. I think the Ravens stomped them. The Jets are overrated. I don't understand why anybody thinks they're that good. They don't have a quarterback. Their defense is pretty good. They were a 7-7 team that beat two teams that bench starters at the end of the year. Then they beat the Bengals good. They beat the Chargers after the Chargers missed 3 field goals. Okay. Not sold on them. I don't see how they've gotten much better. Cromartie, yeah, he's a good pickup, but he's getting old too at cornerback. So I don't think their defense can be much better. Their defense is amazing. I will give them that. But I just don't know where the points are going to come from for this team. And that's yet to be seen. I don't think that... I also don't think that Sean Green is going to be that amazing. He was okay last year later on, but I think LT wins that job back eventually, and you start seeing LT with a lot more carries throughout the season, at least making it be a big contribution on this team. That's something that could get these guys in the playoffs, could get the Jets going. Sanchez will be better. I'm just assuming, it was his rookie year last year, but he did have pretty terrible stats last season. So that's something that is kind of yet to be seen. Other game we got going on tonight is Chiefs-Chargers. A lot of people are saying that Chiefs are a lot better. I don't know. Maybe. But I see the Chargers winning that one pretty handily, and we're cheering for my guy Malcolm Floyd. He's on my fantasy team, and I got him doing big things this year too. So that'll be good to see. So, all right, thank you for tuning in for the inaugural edition of Wien World of Sports. We'll be coming back at you later on this week to get you guys ready and caught up for the upcoming college football, but NFL weekend. Talk a little baseball if there's any news to be said about that, and definitely not talk about the WNBA. So, thank you and good night.